Looking at things for Sunday for the big game, it's Aberdeen. It's 90 minutes. It's a one-off, so really you've just got to go for it, don't you?
Yeah, it's a quarter final, so and it's everything to play for. Prize is massive. It's an Aberdeen Dundee United game. Sunday on TV, so everything positive about it. Everything. Players will be prepared properly. So we'll go up there. It's on grass, so we'll be happy about that. So no, it's everything to look forward to, and like we've said, it's a great game to be involved in.
You mentioned the surface there. Was that partly down to the decision-making process for the selection last night? The youngsters that came in, that's what they've grown up with. Some of the more experienced team members, obviously, maybe not wanting to put them at risk. Was that really down to part of the selection for last night?
No, last night was about seeing the opportunity as a Dundee United manager of doing what the club want us to do, and that's develop young players from within to become good Premiership Dundee United players. They've worked hard and deserved their opportunity to come in and do that. And like I say, last night was a chance to do that. We've got games sticking fast now at this time of the season. And if I can, the only thing they're going to get now is tireder. They're not going to get fitter now. So if I can steer away from that by hopefully still putting a team out last night that was going to get a result, that would have been a good situation for us. But in a few moments we didn't perform well enough, and we will go over that in the next, today, and hopefully improve the players for whenever they come across the kind of moments again, which will make them better players. So that's how we'll look at it. But now we get the opportunity to work with 7 or 8 that probably might have played last night straight away today. So that's the positives of it.
I don't know if you're someone who kind of believes in fate or things that have happened in the past repeating themselves, but I did mention before the last cup game against Forfar that on the 2 previous occasions that Dundee United have won the cup, it's come in a manager's first season for Dundee United. So that's something obviously that hopefully history will repeat itself again, and there you'll be lifting that cup, as it say.
I'm not. You know what I'm like. I'm day-to-day kind of guy. So I'll go and enjoy the sunshine in St Andrews today and the rest of the week, and then be ready for when a big game comes around at the weekend. My preparation lobby and that, and then if we're having a conversation about the next round, then I hope that we're doing that. But you've got to take care of business when it comes around, and make sure that you don't get too far ahead of yourself. And we know we've got a tough game up at Aberdeen, which it will be for them as well. One that we're really looking forward to, and I hope we're talking about the next round when the game finishes.
The last question I have is relatively not directly Dundee United concerned at this particular time, but it's to do with the Scottish Cup final. And you mentioned about fans being there to get in and see what's happening. Well, the government will allow fans in at that particular time. It's something that, because the SFA are handing over to UEFA, that there's going to be no fans at the final. Do you think that the clubs that are involved in the semi-final should start lobbying the SFA now to perhaps get another venue for the final? Celtic are out, so why can't they use Celtic Park?
Well, I hope we're one of the clubs that's lobbying. I hope we are. I don't know. Listen, what I've always said is, I think we leave it to the people who should know more than us about the safety element of it. I wouldn't want to be rushing people in because it makes it a great event and all the rest of it. If it makes it dangerous for people's health, I think we've just got to make sure that we don't get too carried away with ourselves in terms of that this virus has just got up and went home. I think it's still around. In fact, I know it's still around beyond. So we've got to still treat it with respect and don't take any chances. And if playing a Scottish Cup final takes chances, then I would be the last person to say put fans in to make it a better spectacle. Just
looking at the game for Sunday against Aberdeen. You mentioned it's on telly. It's not just on telly, it's on council telly, basically. It's free for all of you. How important is that for a cup game for the fans that want to see it to be able to see it and see it free?
No, it's huge. I think it is. I think especially on the back of this European Super League that was kind of very quickly put to bed, it just shows football is kind of, it's for everybody. It's kind of the working class sport, and it's something that should be available to the masses. And I think that's more important now than ever. I think especially with what the kind of recent events that's happened over the last couple of days. So yeah, it's huge. I think that there's a lot of fans who, especially in the current climate, aren't in a financial position to go and pay pay-per-view for games. They can't get to games, and it gives them a chance to see their team. And as you say, it's on the telly and it's easy access. You know, for me that it's huge, and it's great that we get a chance to go and play in front of that kind of audience.
And very good performances against Aberdeen so far this season, but this is the Scottish Cup, so really none of these matter at all. It's 90 minutes. It's basically go for it, and at the end of the 90 minutes, it's either you're in the next round or you're not.
Absolutely, I think yeah, as I said there earlier, it's almost, I think, season defining for both teams. It's you're in the cup or you're not. You're in the hat for the next round or you're not, and for us, we need to go out and make sure that we put in a performance that's going to get us through to that next round.
And when you're going up to Aberdeen, obviously this weekend, you've come off the back of the defeat last night. How important is it to get it back into that winning ways when you head up there on Sunday?
No, absolutely. I think we've been lucky enough that we've had a kind of good, obviously, bar last night with the good run of results and been a good being of form. And I think we're still in a good place. I think mentally we're still in a good place. The team's still in a good place. And as I say, when you take a step back, I know as fans and as kind of outsiders looking in, it maybe not look like that on the back of a 3-0 defeat to kind of a team in Kilmarnock who are really struggling for form and struggling to foot the table. But there was positives there. It was part of a bigger picture for us. I think if the manager wanted to go out and stamp his authority in the bottom six and really push for 7th place, then he'd put his full strength team out. But previous performances had given us that luxury that we could dip a few players in and out. And look, and again, I know we made a lot of changes, but the guys that come in, you're looking at Mark Connolly, you're looking at Ian Harkes, Jandal Fuchs, guys who've played a lot of the season. Loya Perry as well has played the last part of the season. So it was guys just getting game time and keeping them fresh, and this game giving us more options for Sunday and getting time in guys' legs that either need to come off the bench or, as I say, stake a claim for a start. So yeah, everything I think goes out the window in terms of previous games, previous scores, results. Aberdeen are a different team now. They've got a new manager. They've got, as you always see, you get that bounce from a new manager coming in. So now it's going to be a completely different proposition for us. But we'll go into the game as we always have done. We'll have a game plan. We'll look to execute that, and we'll look to get the result.